our channel Knowledge Hub. Friends, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for the latest update. Today we're gonna start with your software engineering classes, and this is your class 9. And before this, that we had done your 8 classes, and where we had completed your unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and unit 4. Today we're gonna start with your unit 5th, that is just software maintenance and software project management. This is a class where this is the first class of unit 5th, so that stay tuned with us. And it's a huge request from my side to all the viewers, please go through with the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel, so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and even though you can also enjoy the video as well. In terms of unit 5th, that is, we have to talk about software maintenance and software project management. In this, first we'll discuss about what is software maintenance here. In terms of software maintenance, that we'll get to know, and about that, after that we'll get to detail about it. So the question is being asked is to justify the statement maintenance is unavoidable in a software the system. So this has been asked of 2 marks question paper. So we'll go ahead with that as well. So the sentence that they had told you is to justify the statement, which is the statement we have: maintenance is unavoidable in software system. This is being asked of 2 marks here, so that we have to talk about it. We are following are the some reasons that illustrate why maintenance is unavoidable in the software system. The first is to normally system requirements are often changing, and to meet these requirements, some changes are incorporated in the system. To accommodate these changes, maintenance is required. The second is in order to remain useful in the working environment, some changes are required to be made in the system here. The other question has been asked is of your, that is to define software maintenance, that we talk about it here in the detailed, and which is to discuss about software maintenance here. So here for the software maintenance, in this, that is the software maintenance, this has been asked for 4 times in the examination paper of 5 marks here. Software maintenance is an activity in which a program is modified after it has been put into use, and in this process the change in implement by either modifying the system's architecture or by adding a new components to the system here. And where we can say that in the same cases that maintenance for the normally the system required are often changing, and to meet these requirements some changes are incorporated in the system. To accommodate these changes, maintenance is also required, and in the same cases, in order to remain useful in the working environment, some changes are required to be made in the system here, that we talk about it. Now, another question is being asked is what are different types of software maintenance, and why are these software maintenance required? Discuss with the example. This has been asked of 10 marks here in the question, that we have to talk about it. And that is another one in the question is what is software maintenance, and explain the 2 models of software maintenance here, so that we have to discuss here. First we'll discuss the various types of software maintenance here. So this has been various types of software maintenance. So the various types of software maintenance that we have to talk about it, which is also an important one here in terms of it, if I'm going ahead. So on the same cases, for the various types of software maintenance, that is the types we have that are as follows. The first we have is your corrective maintenance. So the first maintenance we have is corrective maintenance. In corrective maintenance here, that is the means that the maintenance for correcting the software faults here. The second is you are having is adaptive maintenance. So in terms of adaptive maintenance, that means the maintenance for adapting the change in environment, different computers or different operating systems that we have here. Now we'll talk about the another one, and that is we have to talk about it, and which is the other third type that we have for the maintenance here, which is your this is your the perfective maintenance. In terms of perfective maintenance, that means modifying or enhancing the system to meet the new requirements. The fourth we have is your preventive maintenance. In terms of preventive maintenance, that means change made to improve future maintainability. Now we'll talk about the needs for maintenance here, and for the needs of maintenance that we talk about it. So for that we have as follows. Need for maintenance. Need for maintenance here, that the software maintenance is an essential because of the following reasons. The reasons we have, the first reason that is that usually the system requirements are changing, and to meet these requirements some changes are incorporated in the system. There is a strong relationship between systems and its environment. When a system is installed in an environment, it changes the environment. This ultimately changes the system's requirement as well. Where the third need for the maintenance is that the maintained system remains useful in their working environment as well. Where maintenance is applicable to the software developed using any software lifecycle model, which is your SDLC model that we talk about it. And on the same cases that the system changes and hence maintained must be performed in order here. And in the order of the cases that we have in order here, which is first is your correct faults, that second is your improved design, the third is implement enhancement, the fourth is interface with other that is your system. So that we'll talk about it. So maintenance must be performed in order to, that is you have, the first is your correct faults, the second we have improve the design, the third we have implement enhancement, and the fourth we have interface with other system. So here that we have. Now we'll talk about the another one that we have to go ahead, which is to define the corrective and perfective maintenance of software. So define corrective and perfective maintenance of software in that same cases that has been asked and that we had discussed about it. The corrective and perfective maintenance of software here. Now on the same cases, we will be going ahead to discuss about the cost of maintenance here. In the terms of the cost of maintenance that we have to talk about it, and which is to be as follows. And the cost of maintenance that we go ahead, which is the question is what is software maintenance, that we even though have discuss the various categories of the software maintenance and which category consumes the maximum effort that and why, which we have to talk about it. So with the same cases we'll talk about the maintenance cost, we can say that consume here, that the category that consumed here, and that we have to focus it out as well. So let's go ahead for that maintenance cost here, and on the same cases, that is also an important one. Maintenance cost. On terms of the maintenance cost, we talk about it, and that we have here as follows, which is that we have to discuss. On the same cases for the maintenance cost that we talk about it, and which is here that shows the making some modification in the existing system and or adding some new functionalities is a very costly from the maintenance point of view. Nearly 65% of the efforts are required for such maintenance, and if the operating environment gets changed, then 18% of the maintenance cost will be required. But repairing or correcting the fault is less costly, which may cost around 17% of total effort cost as well. That we have to talk about it. Further, that the maintenance cost, I will be showing you through our diagram here. This is a diagram. This is 17%, 18%, and this is 65%. So for that 17%, that is your repairing fault. And this is 18% we have here is your new technology adaptation. This 65% that we have here, modification or addition of some function that we have. This is your maintenance cost. On terms of it, so this is your maintenance cost. Now the another question we have is, give any two reason for increase in software cost. And the two reasons to increase the software cost, this has been asked of 2 marks here. That is, the following are the two common reasons for increasing the software cost. The first is that when some modifications are made in an existing system due to the change in operating environment, then the software cost get increased. And when the new functionality is added in the existing system, then the overall cost of the system gets increased here. So next we'll go ahead to discuss about the software re-engineering. That is, the question is being asked is your, what do you mean by the term software re-engineering, why it is required, discuss. This is being asked here, that is of 5 marks, so that we have to discuss here in the detail. So for that, software re-engineering, that is, we talk about need as well. So the software re-engineering, if I'm talking about, this is the software re-engineering means that restructuring and rewriting part or all of the software re-engineering system. The software re-engineering is needed for an application which require the frequent maintenance. The need for the software re-engineering we have is, the first is your reduced risk. The need we talk about it, so the first we have reduced risk here. On terms of reduced risk, that the re-engineering allows the developers to eliminate a certain constants on the system. This helps in reducing the risk of failures as well. We'll talk about the another one that we have to talk about it, which is the another one is your reduced cost. in terms of reduced cost here, that the cost of the re-engineering is often significantly less than that cost of the developing new software here. Now we'll go ahead further, that we have to talk about it, which is another question. What are legacy systems and what do they require re-engineering, and that describe the briefly steps required for re-engineering a software product as well, which has been asked of 10 marks here. So first we'll discuss about the legacy system. They are the two needs of the software re-engine: reduced risk and reduced cost, and that is legacy system. And then we'll talk about the need for the legacy system for the re-engineering here, and then we'll discuss about the re-engineering steps as well. So that has been asked here, the steps required for the re-engineering software product as well. So let's go ahead to discuss about the legacy system. Legacy system. In terms of legacy system here, in that the legacy systems are older complex system used in business environment, and that is the need for the legacy system for re-engineering here. That is in the same case, to get the best return from the existing legacy system, the organization have limited budget, have to first assess the legacy system and have to decide the evolution strategies. One of the strategies is to re-engineering. Sometimes regular changes may cause to degrade the quality of the system. Hence, new interface component can be developed to make older systems in working conditions here. We'll talk about re-engineering steps as well. So in terms of re-engineering steps that we have to talk about it, the first we have is your source code translation. Source code translation here. In this phase, the code is converted to a new language. The second we have reverse engineering. In terms of reverse engineering, under this activity, the program is analyzed and understood thoroughly. The third we have program structure improvement. In program structure improvement, that the restructure automatically for the understandability. The fourth we have program modularization. In this, the program structure is reorganized. Another fifth one is data re-engineering. And data re-engineering, that finally clean up and restructive system data here as well. We'll talk about the another one is your what is reverse engineering, and that is also an important one here. What is reverse engineering in the same cases? This has been asked for 2 times in the examination paper of 5 marks. Reverse engineering is a process of design recovery, and reverse engineering, that the data, architectural and procedural information that is extracted from a source code. Now we'll discuss about another one that we have to talk about it, which is differentiate between software engineering and that is your the reverse engineering. This has been asked of 5 marks here. Reverse engineering. This has been asked for 5 marks here, and that we have to go ahead. Software engineering and the reverse engineering, we talk about it. So in terms of software engineering here, that is, the software engineering is the discipline in which the theories, methods and tools are applied to develop a professional software product. For the reverse engineering is a process in which the dirty or unstructured code is taken, processed, and it is restructured. The second is initially only user requirements are available for software engineering process, wherein this a dirty or unstructured code is available initially. The another is that this process starts by understanding user requirement. This process starts by understanding the existing unstructured code. With this, the software engineering is conducted using requirement gathering, analysis, design, implementation, and testing. Where the reverse engineering is conducted using the restructuring the code, cleaning it by extracting the abstraction. After refinement and simplification of the code, final code gets ready. Here it is simple and straightforward approach. It is complex because cleaning the dirty or unstructured code requires more efforts. In this, documentations or specification of the product is useful to the end user. Here, the documentation or specification of the product is useful to the developer as well. Now, we will go ahead further that we have to talk about is that is the another question. What is the difference between re-engineering and reverse engineering? Explain different steps of re-engineering as well. This has been asked for 5 marks. Talk about it. The difference between reverse engineering and re-engineering. In terms of difference between that is reverse engineering and re-engineering, this has been asked for your 5 marks as I told you. In terms of reverse engineering, that reverse engineering is the process of finding out how a product works from already created software system. Re-engineering is to observe the software system and build it again for better use as well. The another difference with we have is your reverse engineering, that in reverse engineering that the source code is recreated from the compiled code, and in re-engineering that new places of code with similar or better functionality than the existing one that is created. In reverse engineering that is carried out for trying to understand the inner working of the that artifacts with availability of any document. In re-engineering, if I am going ahead here in this, re-engineering is carried out for designing something again many times from scratches as well. The steps in re-engineering that we had even though discussed here. Now we will be going ahead with another one that we have to talk about it, which is about the software configuration management. And in the same cases for that, as I told you, we have to go ahead for the software configuration management. There has been asked in many times in the examination paper as well. Software configuration management, that is your SCM. In this has been asked for to what software configuration management is all about. That has been asked for 5 marks, and that the definition of software configuration management is that the software configuration management, which is SCM, is a set of activities that carried out for identifying, organizing and controlling changes throughout the life cycle of the computer software. For the SCM activities that we had discussed about it and that we'll discuss in the next here, And on the same cases, the SCM process, if I'm talking about, the question has been asked is what do you mean by the software configuration management, even though that we had discussed. And then again we have described various software configuration management activities in the detail. This has been asked of that is of 10 marks and 2 times in the examination paper. So SCM activities, we talk about it. So in SCM activities that we have to go ahead, here in this, that is the activities, there are 4 activities. The first is to identify these changes, the another is to control the changes, third is to ensure that the changes are properly implemented, and the fourth is to report these changes to the other as well. Another question is, what is software version control process? So software version control process, this has been asked of 2 times in the examination paper of 5 marks, that we have to talk about it. And on the same cases, here we go ahead, and that is the software version control process. So on to the software version control process that we have. In this, the version is an instance of a system which is functionally distinct in some way from other system instance. Version control works to help manage different versions of configuration items during the development process. Certain attributes are associated with each software version, and these attributes are useful in identifying the version. For example, the attribute that can be the date, creator, customer, and status. The different versions of the system that can be shown by the evolution graph here, that to be as follows, and that will be representing in the form of like this. One point 0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.1 be divided 2.0, 2.1, 2.1.2 here. This is the version numbering in evolution graph, and each version software system is a collection of software configuration item as well. Now we'll talk about the another, which is the overview of the case tool, that we have to talk about it. And the question is, define structure of case tools. So let's go ahead. This has been asked 2 times in the examination paper of 5 marks, and an overview of the case tool, that is also has been asked about, that is the has been 1 time in the examination paper of 5 marks. This is all total has been asked of 3 times here. We'll talk about the structure and overview of case 2. So we'll go ahead for the case here. So the full form of the case here is to be as follows: computer aided software engineering. The tool or the tool used to automate the project management activities and manage all the work product. Various activities are analysis, design, coding, and testing here. In the same cases, these were the various activities. The first is here, the activity we have is your analysis, design, coding, and testing here. So with the same cases, we'll go ahead with the diagram and on the block diagram of the case environment. So let's go ahead. This is a central repository data we have. So there are in total we have that is your 10, so that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So that is all we have done. So let's go ahead for that to describe this as well. So let's go ahead with this diagram of the block diagram of case to environment here. This is your the central repository, which is data dictionary. Central repository, which is the data that is your dictionary. This is your, which we have consistency and completeness tool. This is your programming tool. The another we have documentation tool. Next we have requirement tracing tool. Then another we have transforming tool for exchanging the data in a different formats. Transforming, exchanging data that we have data in a different format here. The another is your database management and report generation tool. This is your the analysis and design tool. The next is software configuration management tool. This is SCM tools. Then prototyping and simulation tool. Next is project management tool. These were the tools that we have a block diagram for the case environment here, which is being asked for 5 marks each in the examination, in a 3 different examination here as well. On the same cases here, that is the case environment that represents a framework in which support for different case tools at various software development life cycle stages is that will have shown here, and which depicts a typical case environment as well. We'll talk about what do you understand by the term case tool, that we, even though we have discuss the benefits of the using case tools. So benefits of using case tool, this we have to discuss here, and even though which is also an important one as well. So benefits of case tool that we have to discuss. So benefits of case tool, there are many benefits of the case tools here. That the case tool supports the standard software development methodology. It automates a particular task of the software development activities. The second benefit is that the case tool is flexible to use along with editor or the other tool. The third is the case tool provide the interfaces for the automatic testing tools. The fourth is the case tools can be integrated to support all the stages, even if a change is made at any stage due to the use of the case tool. This change gets reflected to other stages as well. The fifth and the last benefit, that the case tool are able to generate complex models for already generated code here. The another question has been asked is to describe the relevance of case tools in software engineering. Which phase of the SDLC that can be help of the can take the help of the case tools here, and on the same case name a few cases tools that is used in SDLC that we had talked about it. Now we'll talk about the case tools in SDLCs that we have to go ahead. Case tools in SDLC. So case tools in SDLC, we talk about it. The first tool that we have is your project planning tool. In terms of project planning tool here, these tools help to plan and schedule project. Examples are PERT and CPM. The objective of this tool is to finding a parallelism and eliminating the bottlenecks in the project here. The second we have here, risk analysis tool. Risk analysis tool. In risk analysis tools here, in this it helps in identifying potential risks. These tools are useful for building the risk table and thereby providing a detailed guidance in identification and analysis of the risk as well. The third we talk about it, which is the requirement tracing tool. In requirement tracing tool, that the objective of these tools is to provide a systematic approach to isolate customer requirement and then to trace these requirements in each stage of the development as well. We'll talk about the fourth one, which is software configuration. Management tool. So software configuration management tool, in this that it exists, it assists with identification, version control, change control, auditing, and the status accounting as well. The next and the fifth we have is your analysis and design tool. Analysis and design tool here. So in this, it creates the models of the system, and some create formal models and other construct data flow model. These models contain representations of data functions and behavior as well. Now we will be going ahead further, and that we have to discuss about it, which is the estimation of cost. We'll talk about it. On the same case for the estimation of cost, and that is as follows, that what different parameters are used for estimates here. The question has been asked for 5 times in the examination paper in terms of estimation of cost, and that will be discussed here to be as follows. Different parameters are used for estimation. So the different parameters are used for estimations here. This has been asked for 5 marks. The first parameter we have here, that hardware and software cost. The second is travel and software or technology training cost. The third is the efforts cost. That is, this is not most essential factor in many projects. It may involve like salaries of employees involved in the project, social and insurance cost as well. The another we have is your cost of building, heating and lighting, and the another is the cost of networking and communications, and cost of shared facilities such as library, and of course that is we have here, that is the staff as well. Now these were the parameters that I use for the estimation. Now we'll talk about the another topic that we have to discuss here, which is also an important one, that is COCOMO. In terms of COCOMO, if I'm going ahead, that is the COCOMO, the question has been asked here. In terms of COCOMO here, the question has been asked is, using a systematic diagram and suitable examples, show the order in which the following are estimated in the COCOMO estimation technique. You have to estimate the cost, effort, duration, size. This has been asked for 2 times in the examination paper of 10 marks. And describe with example the constructive cost model. That is the full form of COCOMO. I just write it down for you, sir. All constructive cost models. It says you stand by the COCOMO here. In the same case, constructive cost model, that is this has been asked for that directly asked here, and that has been asked for 10 marks. The another question in terms of it, to explain the basic forms of COCOMO model, so that is also been asked here. So first we'll discuss these in the detail about it. So in terms of COCOMO, as I told you about the full form of the COCOMO, or the COCOMO stands for the constructive cost model. This model is developed in 1981. Where it is developed by in 1981 by Barry Boehm, and it predicts the efforts and schedule of the software product based on the size of the software. Kokomo has a three different model that reflects the complexity here. So three different model we'll talk about of the Kokomo here. Three different Kokomo model. So where in the case that is the first we'll talk about it, which is your the basic model. In basic model here, in this, that for the basic model, that the basic Kokomo model estimates the software development effort using only lines of code here. Various equation in these models has been representing in the form of E equals to A B K log B and B. The D equals to CB e power D and B, where P equals to E by D here. So where E is the effort applied in person months and D is the development time in chronological month. KLOC means kilo line of code for the support for the project, and P is the total number of the person required to accomplish the project here. The coefficient of AB, BB, CB and DB that for these modes of as to be given. We will talk about a table here and that I represented there as well. The table to be as follows. This is software project, organic, semi-detached, embedded. So on that we have 4 columns. One it is here, second is there. So we'll draw another table that is of software project and organic, semi-detached, and embedded. So that we have as follows. AB, this is for the BB, CB and the DB here. For that, the organic we have 2.4, 1.05, 2.5, 0.38. The another we have here for the semi-detached is 3.0, 1.12, 2.5, 0.35. For embedded it is 3.6, 1.20, 2.5, 0.32 that we have the values. Now we'll talk about the second one that we have here, and which is your the second one is your first is basic model, second is your intermediate model. So here we go ahead, that is your intermediate model. This is an extension of basic COCOMO model, and this estimation model makes use of the set of cost driver attribute to compute the cost of the software. The formula for the effort calculation that can be represented as, which is E equals to A I K log B I or EAF person month. That the value for the AI and BI, that for the various class of the software project that we will be representing here. For that we will just make another table here, which is software project organic. Then we have your, that is semi-detached, and again we have your, that is your embedded. Then we have your so this is the table where for the software project the values for this we have, as you can see, is for AI and BI, and the values for this we have as follows: 3.2, 1.05, 3.0, 1.12, 2.8, 1.20. So the duration of the person estimates is as same as in the basic COCOMO model that we have. So for that we have D equals to CV DV months, and P equals to E by T persons. Now we'll talk about the third one, which we have to talk about it, and that is to be as follows: is your, the another one is detailed COCOMO model. In detailed COCOMO model here, this detailed model uses the same equation for estimation as the intermediate model, but detailed model can be estimated the effort E, duration D, and person P of each of the development phase subsystem models as well. And wherein that the 4 phases used in the detailed that we have, the 4 phases we talk about it. The first phase we have is your requirement planning and product design. Requirement, I just write it on with a different pen. Requirement planning and product design, which is your RTD. The another we have here, detailed design, the third which we have is your code and unit test, the another we have here is integrate and test. That we have. Now we'll talk about the another one, that is software risk analysis and management. In terms of it, that to describe the various activities in the risk management, this has been asked for one time of 5 marks and one time of 10 marks. The other question is, what do you mean by the risk management? Explain how to select best risk reduction technique when there are many ways of reducing our risk. This has been asked for 2 times in the examination paper of 10 marks as well. So the risk management will go ahead here in the detail. In risk management here, in terms of it that we talk about it, which is the risk management refers to the process of making the decision based on evolutions of the factor that they threatens the business as well, the various risk management activities we have, and that we talk about it. So the various activities that we have, the first activity we have is your risk identification. Risk identification. In this risk identification here, all risks are anticipated and a list of potential risk is prepared. The second we have is risk analysis. In this, under this activity, the after effect of risk are obtained and risks are prioritized accordingly. The third we have risk planning. In risk planning, the risk avoidance or minimization plan is prepared. The fourth is risk monitoring. In risk monitoring, that identify the risk are mitigated here. Now we will be going ahead for the another question, which is another one that we have to talk about it. The question is, what are important types of risks that a project might suffer from, and how would you identify the risks that a project may be susceptible to during the project planning stages? That has been asked of 10 marks here. So the different types of risk, we go ahead. Different types of risks. So the different types of risks, we talk about it, and that we have as follows. That the first risk we have here, this has been asked for 10 marks. This is the first risk, is your project risk. In terms of project risk here, that the project risk arises in the software development process, then they basically affect budget, schedule, staffing, resource and requirements. When project risk becomes severe, then the total cost of the project that get increased. The second is technical risk. Technical risk, that these risks affects the quality and timelines of the project. If the technical risk becomes the reality, then potential design, the implementation interface, verification and maintenance problem that get created. Technical risks occur when problems becomes harder to solve as well. The third we have, which is the business risk. In terms of business risk, when feasibility of the software product is in the suspect, that then the business risk occurs here as well. We'll talk about another one, that is the risk identification is based on the two approaches. That is the first risk identification, we'll talk about it. If you have to identify the risk here, so that you have to go ahead. Identification. So risk identification here, the first we will be go ahead with the generic risk identification, and the second we have product specific risk that is identification. Product risk. In generic risk identification, it includes potential threat identification to the software product, and for the that is the product specific risk identification, it includes the product specific threat identification by understanding the people, technology and working environment in which the product get built here. Now we'll go ahead with another one, which is to discuss the software risk analysis. Software risk analysis. In terms of software risk analysis, this has been asked for 5 marks here. In the same cases, while assessing the risk, the impact of the 3 factors that will be considered as, that is nature of risk, scope of the risk and the timing at which a risk occurs. The nature of the risk denotes the type of the kind of the risk, and for example, if the software requirement is poorly understood, that the software processes gets poorly designated, and ultimately it will be create a problem in unit testing. Scope of the test risk means severity of the risk here, and the timing of the risk means that determining at which phase of the software development life cycle the risk will occur and how long it will persist. The US Air Force has suggested followed steps in order to determine the impact of the risk as well. The probabilities of all the components of risk is performance, cost, support, and schedule that is calculated and averaged using the risk drivers, that is your comes under your catastrophic, critical, marginal, negligible, and that the impact of the risk and each component is determined. Build the risk table and analyze the high impact, high probability risk as well. Onto the same cases, we will go ahead and that we have to talk about it. On the same case, which is your the short answers questions, we'll talk about it, which is what is evolving role of software. That is has been asked of 2 marks. So that is the evolving role of the software is changing the role of the software. It appears as product and process as well. The another is to what is reverse engineering. So yes, we had discussed the reverse engineering is the process of extracting the data, architectural and procedural informations from the source code. The another question is that to justify the statement software maintenance is costlier. Following are the reasons for the maintenance being costlier. That is, most softwares are between 10 and 15 years old and are not well documented. So maintaining such a system then become a painful process, and much of that software is showing its age as it was created and was when program size and storage space were far more important factor, and this has led to the inflexible design, coding and documentation as well. In the same cases, for the maintenance is usually done by inexperienced staff unfamiliar with the application domain. The another fourth one is in some applications maintenance is not possible at all here, and hence to maintain such system to redesign is required. The fifth is that changes often cause new faults in the system. The sixth, changes tends to degrade the structure of the program, and the seventh, changes are often not documented as well. Another question is what is risk that we have to find out, as I told you here. So what is risk has been asked. In the risk, that the software risk can be defined as a program that can cause some loss or that can threaten the success of the project. Example is that experienced and skilled staff leaving the organization in the between. That is the risk here. The another question is, and the last question of this session as well, what are predictable risks, and give 2 examples for such risks. And predictable risks are those risks that can be identified in advance based on past project experience. For example, experienced and skilled staff leaving the organization in between, that is the predictable risk here. Now we'll end up with his. So here we'll end up with, and as I told you, and we had completed sociology in terms of software engineering that we had completed here. That is unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4 and unit 5 we had completed. Next, in the next coming class, we'll start discussing about the question papers of more than 10 years, more than 15 years. We'll talk about it. And we are dealing with the quantitative aptitude, that arithmetical ability we had done, that is your operations on number, LCM and SCF, decimal fraction simplification, that we will complete soon. And in verbal reasoning we had completed the general mental ability and the logic reasoning. In the non-verbal reasoning we had dealing with series more than 1000 question, analogy 500 question, classification 500 questions, and analytical reasoning we are dealing with we had completed, and the mirror image we had started with, and hopefully in the next coming class we'll end up with that as well. And chemistry we are dealing for the class 12th, and that is useful for the academic and as well for the competition. For the unit 1, unit 2, unit 3 we had completed there. So in terms of it, the software engineering, if I'm talking about unit 1, we had done your introduction to the software engineering, software components, software characteristics, software crisis, software engineering process, similarities and differences from the conventional engineering process, software quality attributes, software development life cycle, model, waterfall model, prototype model, spiral model, evolutionary development model, iterative enhancement model. Software requirement specification, which is SRS, is requirement engineering process, elicitation, analysis, documentation, review and management of the user need, feasibility study, information modeling, data flow diagram, entity relationship diagram, decision tables, SRS document, IEEE standards for the SRS. Software quality assurance, SQA, that is verification and validation, SQA plans, software quality framework, ISO 9000 model, SEI CMM model as well. The software design, we have a basic concept of the software design, architectural design, low level design, modelization, design structures, charts, pseudocodes, flow charts, coupling and cohesion measures, design strategies, function oriented design, object oriented design, top down and bottom up design, software measurement and matrices, various size orientation measure, and that is Halstead software science, function point, base measure, cyclometric complexity measures, and control flow graphs as well. In software testing, we have to deal with it, that is your testing objectives, unit testing, integration testing, acceptance testing, regression testing, testing for functionality, and the testing for the performance, top down bottom up testing strategies, test drivers and test stuff, structural testing, white box testing, functional testing, black box testing, test data source preparation, alpha beta testing of the product, static testing strategies, formal technical reviews, peers reviews, walkthrough, code inspection, compliances, and with design and the coding standard. Unit 5th, which we had completed the software maintenance and software project management, where we had completed the software as an evolutionary entity, need for the maintenance, categories of the maintenance, preventive, corrective, and prospective maintenance, cost of maintenance, software re-engineering, reverse engineering, software configuration management, configuration activities, change control process, software version control, and overview of the case tool, estimations of the various parameters such as cost, effort, schedule, duration, constructive cost model, which is COCO model, resource allocation model, software risk analysis and management as well, that we had end up with. And in the next coming class we'll start discussing about more than the 15 years of the questions here, question paper, so that you will get to know about it. So thank you, hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion in the comment box. Please like, share and subscribe our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and even though you can also enjoy the video as well. So thank you, hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion in the comment box. Thank you.